This is Jamie TKV. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Alright everybody, hope you're doing fantastic. If you are new to this channel, welcome, and please click that subscribe button. It's free, it's brilliant, and please drop your comments below as to what you think about this particular video, i.e. these rankings. So we're going through the top 25 British and Irish heavyweights. Been doing this particular subject for these rankings for the last couple of months. Originally it was my list, and of course based on your comments I had to make adjustments, so now it's your list. So based on fights that have recently happened over like the last 4 weeks or so, we make changes as and where fighters get wins, lose, however it's going to be. So some changes have been made and I'll go through them as this video goes along. So click that subscribe button, right? Do it right now. Anyway, here's a new top 25 for the month of June. Number 25, Tommy Welch. Number 24, Moses Atuma. Number 23, Jay McFarlane. Number 22, Jose Stewart. Number 21, Nick Campbell. Number 20, Cash Ali. Number 19, Matty Harris. Number 18, Thomas Carty. Number 17, Franklin Ignatius. Number 16, Johnny Fisher. Number 15, Stephen Robinson. Number 14, David Adelaide. Number 13, Nathan Gorman. Number 12, Jamie TKV. Number 11, Frazer Clarke. Number 10, Solomon Dakers. Number 9, Dave Allen. Number 8, Derek Chisora. Number 7, Fabio Wardley. Number 6, Hughie Fury. Number 5, Daniel Dubois. Number 4, Joyce. Number 3, Dillian Whyte. Number 2, Anthony Joshua. And number 1, Tyson Fury. So that is the new top 25 for the month of June. Now, you'll notice compared to the previous 2 months, it's now British and Irish. I incorporated Irish because they only have 2 professional boxers in the heavyweight division from Ireland. So I decided to incorporate it. It's right on the doorstep of our British Isle, so why not? And again, I love Irish fighters anyway. So, fresh inserts would be number 18, Thomas Carty. Thomas Carty, within the last 4 weeks, has defeated Jay McFarlane. Beaten by stoppage, looked very, very good, looks brutal, looks like a very, very good boxer. Southpaw, of course, and managed by Dillian Whyte. So I've decided to insert him at number 18. If you think that's right, wrong, or indifferent, drop your thoughts below as to where you think Thomas Carty should be going into next month. Now, I'd like to see Thomas Carty fight somebody within this top 25. I would, whether that be a Johnny Fisher, whether that be a Tommy Welch, whether that be even a Nick Campbell or a Cash Ali, however. Okay, I'd like to see Thomas Carty fight one of these. I would. It's a good victory over Jay McFarlane last time, so let's see what he does going forward. Maybe Nathan Gorman. Another insert will be number 25, Tommy Welch. Now, Tommy Welch, he defeated a fella from Morocco. Originally 7 wins and 6 defeats. He lost his last 5 fights going into that one, but still 0 knockout victories for this guy. So he's not a big puncher, and of course he's a career cruiserweight, but Tommy Welch done what he had to do, as in he got the win. It doesn't really matter how you look at times. The important thing is what happens when your arm gets raised or it doesn't. Tommy Welch got his arm raised, so he won. He's now 11-0. Didn't look great. First 2 rounds I thought he looked pretty good. He was coming forward, he was throwing punches and bunches, and that's what we want to see. Okay, we do. I don't know where the nervous energy got to him, but he gassed after 2 rounds. That's worrying when you're fighting somebody who doesn't punch, he can't punch, and that opponent threw maybe 3 or 4 punches the entire fight. So when that happens, you should be walking through these kind of guys. You should be. But he didn't. Maybe because it was his Sky Sports debut, he got a little bit nervous. Some fighters are very good in the gym, but not very good under the bright lights. Maybe he's one of those. Maybe. Time will tell. But I want to see Tommy Welch fight somebody in this top 25 next. I've been told that's what will happen. In fact, it was supposed to have happened on this one, but you know, he called out Johnny Fisher, he called out Stephen Robinson, whatever beforehand. Stephen Robinson accepted it, but he ended up fighting a journeyman instead in the 6th rounder. When you in your 11th pro fight and you're only fighting 6 rounders, that's worrying. So let's see a step up. Let's see Tommy Welch take on Thomas Carty, a Jose Stewart, a Nick Campbell. Let's see him take on someone like that, a Matty Harris. Okay, no point with a Stephen Robinson or a Franklin Ignatius because they'll be fighting each other. We'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, so I decided to put in Tommy Welch now in the top 25. Now, dropped out this month are George Fox. Dropped him. Number 1, inactivity. That's a huge part of that one. But also, I'm hearing that he could well be done now. I mean, it's a big old unit. Was he 6'8", something like that? But it appears that he's done now. I think that loss to Sokolowski has done something to him. I don't know. If that turns out to be wrong, then of course we'll have to rethink these rankings. Daryl Hall, he's been dropped as well. Again, inactivity. But I'm hearing that he could actually go to Bridgeway, or he may actually be done with boxing. Okay, so we'll have to wait and find out. As with Nick Webb as well, he hasn't fought in quite a long time now. So inactivity, we have to drop him. Maybe he's done as well. We never know. But again, if I'm wrong on any of those three that we've dropped, then we'll have to rejig this one. In the last 4 weeks, since the last video, who has fought? Thomas Carty's fought, as I've already said. Number 21, Nick Campbell, he fought. He fought a journeyman. He's a guy who, not a great fighter at all, but Nick Campbell went a distance with him. He went all 6 rounds, which is very disappointing because that didn't seem like the old Nick Campbell. Okay, so he had 5 wins, 5 knockouts, and the Scottish heavyweight champion. Then fought Stephen Robinson, got stopped after getting bounced around in 4 rounds. Okay, but his comeback opponent just wasn't very good at all, and I was quite disappointed. It could be that he's trying something new. Obviously, he's with a new coach in Billy Nelson now, Mr. Nosehair. So it's going to be interesting to see what Nick Campbell does going forward. I want to see him step up now. He had the opportunity to fight Johnny Fisher on Johnny Fisher's next fight, but he turned it down. He could have fought Tommy Welch on like this past weekend in Bournemouth. That didn't happen either. So let's see Nick Campbell take on Tommy Welch. Let's see him take on Johnny Fisher or a Thomas Carty or a Matty Harris or however. Let's see him fight one of these next. No puddings, no Euro bums, no journeymen. He's above that now, okay? You've already stepped up with Steve Robinson. You come short. Oh, well, it happens. It's boxing, okay? You're supposed to lose sometimes. So chin up, move on. Jose Stewart, number 22. He does have a fight coming up. He lost last time out. He lost his undefeated record to Franklin Ignatius. Now, Jose Stewart, he is actually a very good fighter. He's a big old lump. And he seems like a quality guy. I've spoken to him a couple of times myself, not in interview form, just real brief hellos here in Newcastle. But he's a big old unit, he really is. And it appears that he's lost a bit of weight now. And he is having a comeback fight. I forget exactly what date. I don't know who it is that he's fighting, but I presume it's going to be some kind of journeyman. So, Jose, get that one out of the way, and let's see you take on Tommy Welch. Let's see you take on Matty Harris or Thomas Carty, someone like that, okay? Let's see you get back in the mix, all right? Number 13, Nathan Gorman. Now, he hasn't featured in the last 2 months because I heard that he was potentially done. Turns out I'm wrong on that one, so I've had to insert him into the top 25. In fact, he's going to be fighting on June the 24th, opponent to be decided. It's going to be in Newcastle, my home city. So it'd be good to see Nathan Gorman. Let's see what he does going forward. He's a very good boxer. He's a big puncher in that as well. But unfortunately, don't really like getting hit. We've seen that with Dubois, and we've seen that with Fabio Wardley. But to his defence, they're both big punchers. So it's not like he's chinny. I don't think he's chinny at all. Just that they are big punchers and they caught him. So let's see what Nathan Gorman does next. Fights that have been made, number 15, Stephen Robinson versus number 17, Franklin Ignatius. That's also going to be in my home city here of Newcastle on June the 24th. Franklin Ignatius is undefeated. Last time out, he defeated the undefeated fighter in Jose Stewart at the time. And last time out for Stephen Robinson, he defeated Nick Campbell, who was also undefeated at that time as well. So both of them on very, very good wins. And it's no shame winning, losing, drawing for either of those in that fight. It isn't. So full credit to both Stephen Robinson and Franklin Ignatius for getting it on, for doing something that a lot of these fighters on your screen right now are not doing. That they're not. Okay, so let's give Stephen and Franklin some credit for that one. David Adelaide, number 14. He's going to be fighting on June the 9th. So next Friday, he's going to be fighting against a German guy. I forgot his name. He's 12 wins and 1 defeat. That 1 defeat was by stoppage to Filip Hrgović. Okay, but the 12 wins that he does have, I think he stopped like 9 of his opponents. So clearly, he's a bit of a puncher. So it's a bit of a test for David Adelaide, but it is a typical David Adelaide opponent in the sense of it's a European. Queensbury, David Adelaide like fighting these Europeans rather than fight domestic and insist on fighting for the British title, but you haven't beat anybody domestically yet. Let's see how David Adelaide gets on with this one. Maybe we can see him take on Nathan Gorman. That was a fight that was muted a little while ago, so maybe resurface that one. if, of course, the Fabio Wardley fight doesn't happen. Let's see David Adelaide take on the winner of Stephen Robinson and Franklin Ignatius. Why not? Why not? Maybe Johnny Fisher. Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see what David Adelaide does after this fight. If he wins, there's no guarantees on that one, but if he wins. Number 10, Solomon Dakers. He is the English heavyweight champion. I will say this one, that he was actually supposed to be fighting Stephen Robinson for that English title. He was. But they put in the offer to Stephen after Stephen said he wants to fight him. Stephen accepted all the terms. Solomon Dakers then turned it down. For reasons I don't know, maybe he could be in line to fight Fabio Wardley for the British, which would make sense. The English champion should be in line to fight the British champion. That's how it should work, right? So maybe that's the reason why I turned it down, okay? So I'm not going to be calling him a ducker or anything like that. Let's see who he fights next to determine that one. But speaking of Fabio Wardley, number 7, could be taken on Solomon Dakers, as I said. Was supposed to be taken on Frazer Clarke last time out. Frazer Clarke, of course, pulled out of that fight last minute. And this past weekend, looks like there might be a little bit step closer to Fabio Wardley versus Dave Allen. Now, Dave Allen has been very, very inactive, and the last couple of fights that he has fought, they haven't been very good. Dave Allen will be the first one to tell you that. But I'm interested in that fight. I would be interested in that fight. Of course I would. But I do feel Dave Allen needs more ring time. But listen, if he's confident, he's confident. If he thinks he can beat Fabio, then he thinks he can beat Fabio. So let's see it then, shall we? Jamie TKV, number 12. He fought in Poland last time out and got a knockout victory. Looked fantastic. And I said this before, that Jamie TKV is one of these fighters who I do feel will go on to do some real good things. He wants the big fights already, domestically in that as well. He wants Frazer Clarke. He wants all these kind of ones. So can Sky Sports deliver it for him? Let's see. Frazer Clarke, he's going to be taking on Marius Whyte next time out. That's actually a good opponent for someone who's only had 6 fights. And Marius Whyte is a pretty good opponent. He is. Now, he's not ranked that high as far as box record are concerned. There are other fighters around, even here, that are above Marius Whyte. Like Stephen Robinson is above Marius Whyte and what have you. But it's still a very good opponent. Marius Whyte is known for his durability, for his chin of iron. So it's going to be interesting to see what Frazer Clarke does in that fight. I fully expect it to go pretty much the distance, but all we can do is see. So anyway, that is the top 25. If you want to talk about anybody else on this list, Hughie Fury, number 6. He's going to be having his comeback fight very, very soon. I'm hearing it might be on the Savannah Marshall French on Cruz undercard. It might be on that one. If not, it won't be too far away. So anyway, let's see what happens. Of course, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, they're currently negotiating. Are they going to get it on? I suppose we have to wait and find out. Dillian Whyte, what's happening? It appears that he's waiting around for Anthony Joshua. It appears that Matchroom don't really want Dillian Whyte in any other fight other than that one. It's like they're keeping him on ice for some reason. So if I'm Dillian, I'm looking at fighting somebody else real soon. Of course, Joyce, number 4, has activated that rematch clause now officially with Zili Zhang. Date, venue to be confirmed. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.